So your child might be mispronouncing some words and you're not sure whether you need to help them pronounce them correctly or wait and see if naturally their development will unfold and progress and they'll start to say that word correctly in the future. What do you do? This is a really common question that I get from parents, and I wanted to share a resource with you that will really help you understand what sounds we expect by what ages. As a pediatric speech language pathologist with my master's degree in communication disorders and as a mama, I share strategies to help children communicate that are rooted in research by demonstrating activities that work in our real day-to-day lives with our real kids on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon at home. I believe that your thoughts matter and your child's thoughts matter. So I'm going to be sharing this chart with you. It's the speech sound development chart, and I did not create this chart, so I'm going to link this source for where I found this exact page in the description of this video below, so you can click that, print this out, download it yourself. It breaks down by age and by sound, so all the different speech sounds that we use in our day-to-day life. It breaks down when these sounds can be expected to be fully developed, so when you're within normal limits and then when you might want to seek help from a speech language pathologist if they seem to be really behind, like they should have had that sound mastered at 2 and they're now 4. So this will really help you to understand each of the specific sounds so that you can listen to your child, write down some words that you are concerned about them mispronouncing. Then you can compare those words to this chart so you get a better idea and a better sense of what is within normal limits and what's within the average range. I do want to give you an overview of what you're looking at when you look at this chart. So it's speech sound development, and it's the speech sound norms taken from the Goldman-Fristow Test of Articulation 2 from 2000. So this is a test that we as speech language pathologists administer to see where a child is falling with their articulation skills, which just means what they're able to pronounce and say correctly. So to create the test that this chart is based off of, they took a sampling of lots and lots of children, and they found the averages and the ages at which certain sounds were mastered. So I encourage you to read the sentence at the bottom. I'll read it to you here. This table is the age at which 85% of the standardization sample correctly produced the consonant and consonant cluster sounds. So you'll see at age 2, we expect 85% of children will be able to say the B, D, H, M, N, and P sounds in the initial position of words. So that's just how you kind of read this chart. So it's not that 100% of 2-year-olds say these sounds at age 2, but that 85% of 2-year-olds say those sounds at age 2. Does that make sense? On this chart, you'll see ages 2 through 7 on this column, and then across the top, you'll see initial sound, medial sound, and final sound. So let me break down what that means for you. So initial sound is the first sound of the word, medial sound is the middle sound, and final sound is the sound at the end. So what that would look like for the word ball, the initial sound would be B, the final sound would be the L sound. So for that, the B sound we expect to see around 2 years of age, but the L sound in the final position for the word ball, we don't expect to see until 5 years to be mastered. I'll break down another word for you that has 2 syllables so we can have a medial sound in there. So the word rabbit. So that starts with the letter R. And so you can look on this chart and see, okay, where is the R sound? Oh, R is right here at 6 years old. So by 6 years old, remember, it's the age at which 85% of the standardization sample correctly produced the R sound. So R for rabbit, and then the medial sound would be the B for rabbit. So the B sound we expect to be mastered 2 years of age. And then the T sound is the final sound in rabbit. So we would look in the final sound column and we search for T. T is right here under 3 years old. So one more example of initial, medial, and final sounds in words is I'm going to use the M sound. So this is a sign language letter for M. I do teach a sign language class for beginners as well. So if you've ever been interested in learning sign language, you can check out learnwithadrienne.com and find that class there. So M in the initial position would be like the word more. So we would see M right here at 2 years. An example of a word with M in the medial position would be lemon. So we would look for the M sound, and that's also at 2 years. And then an example of the sound in the final sound would be Here, also at 2 years. So you could expect by 2 years that 85% of children will be able to produce the M sound in initial, medial, and final correctly. So as the sounds progress, they get more and more complex and they're trickier to say. So talking is a fine motor skill. You have to involve a lot of different systems, your breath support, your vocal cords, your tongue, your lips, your palate, your teeth, your jaw. There's a lot that goes into talking and speaking, and that coordination of the tongue is really challenging for young children who are still developing those fine motor skills. So that's why we see it's typical that the sounds like TH sound will be closer to age 7. So I'll share with you the age 7 sounds. So Z, the SL consonant cluster sound, SP like spoon, SW like swing, and TH sounds. So I'm hoping that this chart really helps you to know whether your child is within the normal age range of sounds for their speech sound development, or maybe you notice, oh wow, they're 5 years old and they're not really able to say some of the things in the 3 and 4 year old range. Maybe it's time that I should look into calling a speech language pathologist and seeing about getting some additional support in those speech sounds. This video is part of a series of videos. So in this one, I shared the speech sound development chart, and in the next video, I want to share with you the phonological processes. So this is if your child says wabbit for rabbit, or pan for fan, or apple for apple. I want to break down what this chart means and how you can read it and how it will help you understand where your child is and what's normal, what might need some help and support from a speech therapist. So once this video is filmed and completed, I'll have it linked in the description of this video too. Just look for phonological processes and you should be able to find it. What we learn changes what we do, and you just learned something new. And as always, you know your child best. So if you do have concerns that your child is falling behind on language milestones based on the norms that I share in my free printable download, and if you're looking for more guidance to help your child learn to talk, you're always invited to check out my online class where I teach the exact steps that I use in my speech therapy sessions to get children from saying very few words or no words at all to talking in sentences and having conversations with you. And if you're brand new to my YouTube channel, I share lots of videos like this and others where I teach exactly how I read books to toddlers or young children to teach them new vocabulary, as well as speech therapy strategies that I use with my own son to help him learn new words and learn how to communicate back and forth, how to increase eye contact, attention span, cognition, so many things. Look around on my YouTube channel and you should find something that will help you connect with your child on a deeper level. Thanks for liking this video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. How old is your child, and are there any words that they're mispronouncing? I love chatting with you in the comments, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.